Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, but bitch, we got views.
ChadArmesTV, we are back again, and this is another interview that has been in the works for almost a year. It was just a matter of timing.
Yeah.
This man's busy. I've been busy. This is a Nashville legend we're sitting in front of right here.
I appreciate it, Dave.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. Crisis the Rhyme Don, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dude, I was telling you off camera, I remember going and picking up like your old mixtapes and stuff at Platinum Bound.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you remember the name of it, because me and Squints have been trying to remember the name of that CD spot forever.
Shout out Gennaro. Shout out DJ Infamous, man. That was the spot, man. Like I said, you know, if you wasn't in Platinum Bound, if people was trying to get on that board they had like a top 10 or a top 5.
That's the first
spot. Like that.
That's the first place
if
I
you
went.
was on there, yeah. People came in there and they checked you out instantly.
Yeah, because I'd go there weekly. I think they changed it out weekly, and I'd go. That's the first place I'd go. And if I didn't have the people in the top 5, I would get them. You know, get whatever I didn't have. So yeah, that's dope. Let's just start from the beginning, bro, like we do with these. Born and raised in Nashville.
Born and raised in Nashville, man. Most stayed out in East Nashville for most of my life and shit. So
yeah, what was it like growing up out that way?
You know, early as a kid in the 80s, you know how the 80s was, man.
Yeah.
It just everybody had their little friends and everybody kind of clicked up.
Yeah.
So, you know, but getting to the 90s, you get a little older, you get to want to explore for yourself. So, you know, it was the same old, man. I was a school guy, but you know, I drifted off a little bit, but not too much.
Did you play sports or anything as a kid?
I mean, I did, but not for no schools or nothing
Yeah,
like
just
that.
play just for fun.
We played, you know, we played for like the intramural leagues and you know the center leagues and all that stuff. And then once they shut Martha O'Brien down, it was kind of like, we just got to find something to do. Yeah. So naturally, I ain't gonna say naturally, but where we was from, naturally we went into the streets.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and a lot of the times, man, watching those intramural league games and like them rec center games,
them were the ballers at.
Yeah, bro.
Them was the real hoopers, man. But you know, they was caught up in the street. They wasn't trying to go to school like that, or you know, they didn't have them opportunities to do that stuff. Yeah. So you know, a lot of them guys too, you know, they would help us try to get in schools and all that. Get people see us, and once they shut it down, man, it was like, well. And then we started doing music, so shit, that was it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So like growing up, at what age can you remember back to when you first was listening to music to where you were like, or what grabbed your ear? Was it rap initially, or was it R&B, or was it like?
Well, I always listen to music, R&B music. My mom's, she played a lot of the R&B music, the oldies, or whatever was hot in the early 80s. So I would always constantly hear music. But then, you know, I didn't really get into rap until I was like 10.
Okay.
And I heard NWA.
Mm-hmm.
I heard NWA, Gangsta. That was the first song. And then I heard King T and Ice Cube play like a piano. Yeah. When I heard those two songs, I was like, oh, okay. And even though all of the East Coast guys was out and they was doing what they was doing, it was that grabbed my attention. Yeah. Now, what actually made me get into music was Outkast.
Oh, okay.
Listening to Cash's first album, it just made me open my eyes up and be like, oh, okay, I can still bump. I can talk about some real stuff. I can have fun on records. You know, I can literally be me on a record and it still make noise. So,
Yeah, and Outkast, man, because that was probably, I want to say Southern Playlist, was it like 94 or something?
94,
yeah. That was, that's one of the greatest rap albums ever.
Ever, man. It ain't too many albums you can press play on, and you just let that thing ride from top to bottom.
Yeah, and Outkast, like, especially when you was going back to saying NWA, because leading up to NWA, there wasn't like that hardcore rap sound yet, really.
Nah,
it was mainly
like,
you know what I mean?
I think it was like Run DMC, cats like Big Daddy Kane, LL, you know, all them cats, and they, you know, they did their thing. Ice-T was kind of,
he kind of was,
kind of one of the pioneers of the gangster shit. But when NWA came through, it was on from there.
Yeah, it started hitting different then.
And you know, a lot of people don't get, man, West Coast music was big in the South. In the 90s, like that. So.
Yeah, man, and Outkast is a good one to want to get you going for sure. Like as far as music goes, because it's just such an influential, and it's like, to me, I feel like they make timeless. They're some of the few artists that you can go back and revisit their old stuff, and it still holds up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff that was my favorite shit back in the day, I go back to it now, and I'm like, it's cool, but it just don't hit the same. Outkast always hits the same, bro.
Don't matter what album you choose, all the music is, you can still ride it to this day.
Yeah. So you said 10. You was 10 when you started to kind of
when I
gravitate towards rap.
And then, you know, as I got older, you know, I still listen to R&B and all that stuff. My mom used to tell me all the time, don't a woman want somebody to listen to rap all the time? So, you know, I started mixing it up, and then as I got older, then as I went to the Army and stuff, I started mixing up with other cats, and they started introducing me to rock and, you know what I'm saying, pop music and all that kind of stuff. And they really just opened me up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So you went to the Army?
Yeah.
Okay, so was that when you was like 18?
Yeah.
What branch was it?
It was the
Army.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what was that like? How long was you there?
I just did 6 years.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm grateful for it, man. I still benefit to this day from it. So.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's something I didn't know about you. So that's cool.
I got away from here, man, and it literally just showed me how to be able to mix and mingle with all kind of people from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most people y'all kind of got similar backgrounds, or y'all got a whole lot in common, but you know what I'm saying? All you got to do is just talk to each other. Yeah. You know. So.
What in the Army? What was like your occupation?
First, I was a 13 Bravo, which was a cannon crew member, and then I was like an 88 hotel, which was transportation.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's cool that you did that, man. Especially like if you said now, you know, several years later, it's like you're still being able to benefit from the work you put in. So, I'm sure it seemed like it was, you know, it was worth it.
Yeah, it was. I wish I could have stayed. I wish I would have stayed a little longer, but it was cool. Yeah. I had a ball. I was there.
Yeah. So you jumped. So you went in the Army when you was 18. So you got out 24, 25.
Like 20, 23.
Yeah.
24, something like that. You know
so
what I'm saying?
Had you dabbled in writing raps or anything at this point yet?
No, I was doing full-fledged shows when I was in the Army.
Okay.
I used to have cats from my unit come to the shows that we was doing and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they used to do. It was a guy, I can't remember his name at the moment. But he used to do shows on posts.
Oh, dope. Okay.
And he had like a little off. He had an off post radio station, and the little radio station, you know, it was small stations.
Yeah.
But everybody in Clarksville, Oak Grove, Hopkinsville, all them people could hear it.
Yeah.
So he was, I guess he was an ex-soldier or whatever, and he used to do shows and stuff. And I had bumped into him, and because he had bought one of my mixtapes while I was out on the street, and there it was.
Dope, man. So we'll jump back a little bit then. When did you start like writing raps? Was that like in high school you started?
In high school. Yeah, I used to try to, just write a rap every day. I used to just write a verse every day. Whether I had a beat or I didn't, just try to write a verse every day.
Yeah.
And then once I got to the point that, boom, I can write a verse every day. Now it's trying to taking it a step further and writing on the spot. A lot of artists can't just, you put a beat right there and they hit the studio and boom. I'm talking about actually take a pen to pad. Yeah. I mean, a lot of cats nowadays, they freestyle a track. They say they freestyle, but basically you writing it. Yeah, you just ain't writing it down. Yeah. So, but that's how it started with me, man. And I always had a joy in just writing other stuff too. So,
that's dope. Yeah, as far as what you were saying about writing on the spot, I do better when it's like that.
Yeah.
If I'm just by myself trying to write, it takes me longer for some reason. Some people are the opposite though. Some people, like you said, some people need to be in their own little headspace and stuff.
And that's cool, you know.
Yeah,
however your get down is, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own process.
Yeah, I think some of it too is just feeding off of other energy in whatever like scenario you're in when a beat's playing, like if other people are around. Maybe that kind of fuels it for some people and makes people, you know, recluse. Maybe some, but however you make it work, I guess.
I don't know. I like it, man. I just like the energy in the room.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how we were. That's how I always remember. And I don't. And see, what sucks is like now, I don't really do. I'm fixing to start getting back into that style of writing, but for the longest, bro, I was just always writing by myself. So like it's fun to get back in that swing of things.
Well, I always done it. It always depend. I would try to, like then, I would write. If it was just me, okay, I can go do my thing whenever I do it. But if I was featuring somebody or, you know, I would try to have the whole writing, you know, especially if I got a blank track and I just got an idea for it. Or, you know, most of the time I might already have hook done and everything ready and just, hey, man, this is what it is. Don't do your 1-2 thing.
Yeah. So you started writing music, and how long after you started writing did you go and actually lay something down and start recording? Was it some people around you that was already recorded? Is that how you got into it?
Like when I was a senior in high school, that's when we dropped our first mixtape, album with Greenway.
Oh, shout out Greenway, yeah.
So shout out Greenway, man. He dropped the Overdose Click album. Yeah. And that was our first album that I was ever featured on. Well, outside of his Nashville Underground, that was the first thing we was on. But as far as the album,
that's dope, man. That's some Nashville rap history right there.
That came out my senior year in high school.
Yeah. And then you just that started it, and then you just...
And I just kept on going from there, and I would just learn stuff. Looking back now versus then, I just realized now how much I didn't know. That if I did, it's like... But, you know, everybody can say, what you would have done different then. I mean, now, but then it was just like, you head first. You just going in and just grinding.
Yeah. Well, and see... Now, and of course, like you just said, hindsight vision is 20/20. You see everything perfectly if you can go back in time and look at it. But back then, when you were doing it, and even when we were doing it back then, like it's completely different now because then there wasn't no cell phones capturing everything.
Exactly.
You were just living in the moment you were in because that's what you knew.
That's what you knew.
You know what I mean? It wasn't about pulling your phone out to capture it all. When I was doing the interview with Sis with Jamie LeMay, she was telling me that's what she was saying, and that's exactly what it was like back then. You just have your memories to remember what all went on.
Exactly.
But like back then, it was just a different grind for sure, bro. Everything cost way more to do as an artist.
Exactly.
Everything was physical.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You actually had to shake hands and show teeth.
Yeah.
You know, you actually had to pull up and you know, it don't matter. I don't think a lot of the cats now could even get down back in the days when you had to actually fill up your bag and get out there and sell your mixtapes or your album or whatever hand to hand. I don't think a lot of cats could do that, man.
No, because you have to sell you have to have the grind. You have to have social skills too, which a lot of people now
A lot of people have no idea how to talk to people.
No, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can talk tough all day.
Yeah.
You can do that shit, but when it's just a genuine, a regular conversation, or even just trying to sell your product or whatever you got, most people can't do it.
Yeah.
And then I always thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
You gotta show your face, shake hands, show teeth, because you never know who you run into.
Yeah, and see the thing back then, in addition to being an artist, you're a salesman too, because you're trying to sell somebody. Yeah, you're trying to sell somebody on you because there's 400 other people doing what you're doing. So what sets you apart from, you know what I mean? So I definitely remember them days, bro. I mean, now it's you can make a song on the phone. You can record on your phone now. Like do everything on your phone, just post to the internet, and it could just blow up. Back then, you had to put the footwork in. And
I shit used to be with, we stick the CD in the car. They'd be like, man, if you skip it, if you get past number 3 and you don't like nothing, then you don't worry about it.
Yep.
But most of the time they came on with it, man.
Yeah.
You learn a lot from that grind. You gotta be humble, because you'll get 3-4 times as many no's
for sure
as you do yeses, but those yeses add up.
Yep.
So
and see too, back then, so many people were doing that it's so hard to get somebody to even entertain what you're trying, because so many people's are. It's just like when you go in the mall, and people are like, "Hey, do you want to try?" And you're just like, "No,
I'm good."
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I totally get what you're saying, dude. It took a different. You had to be a different breed as far as artists back then.
That was my shit, man. I used to pop up places, man, and pop the trunk open, or just sit in the car at the gas station or somewhere, just go to different towns. That's how I started getting into small cities, man, and just hitting the road like that, just going to these different towns, meeting up with different artists, or just popping up somewhere, wherever, a gas station, a car wash or something, just popping up. And after so many trips in certain spots, it just starts circulating.
Yeah. And I remember back then, when we first started, and it was just like 03, 04, but we got kicked out of malls. I mean, multiple times for standing up there and selling.
Get your ass up out of here.
Yeah, the Paul Blart cops would make us leave.
Yeah. He said the Paul Blart.
Yeah. They come over with their flashlights and shit in the middle of the day.
You can't do that around here.
But no, man, that's dope. Because especially now with you, this is all leading up to what you're working on now. We're going to get to that, but so you started rapping as a teenager, started writing raps, recording raps, and then you went to the Army for 6 years. You was doing shows. Was there ways to record while you were out?
Yeah. I knew people that had some studios, and then I would actually always go to my guy Michael Otis.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he the one that I did a lot of my early recordings with. You know what I'm saying? And he groomed me as far as being an artist, how to the art of recording and you know what I'm saying, actually putting songs together. You know what I'm saying? He helped me polish all that up for me. So yeah.
That's dope, man. And then so when you got out and you just kept grinding, was you still in the Nashville area? Was you in Clarksville? Was you up this way?
I was in Clarksville for a while, and then I moved back to Nashville.
Yeah.
And then I started doing a lot of stuff. That's around about the time I came with the HNIC mixtape, and you know what I'm saying, because I dropped From My Eyes. I think I dropped that while I was still in the Army.
It says 02. Is that the right date?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely was still in. I was getting out the following year.
Okay.
And so it was cool, man. But I just, like I said, I learned a lot in the early process of it. It was like, and it's some stuff I'm still suffering from now because I just didn't know better.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing, bro. Like, and I mean, I'm learning new stuff every day about the new age of recording, but I still have that old school mentality with me with certain things about hand to hand and being more hands on.
The thing about it is, none of the old ways go away.
Yeah.
People think, well, that's old, that's dinosaur stuff. Nah, that's not dinosaur shit. That's literally where most of your info come from to go online. It's from people in the street.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can't talk to the people in the street, you're going to have a hard time.
No, for sure. For sure. So you dropped From My Eyes in 2002, and that is when, do you feel like that's when you started to see things were moving a little bit more, like when you...
Nah.
Not yet?
Nuh-uh. Because around that time, that's when Quantum was popping, Rollo, I think Rollo B, Big Lou, Black and J, Cool Daddy Fred, all those, they were still kind of haystack.
Yep.
Everybody was kind of in they wave.
Yep.
So I was just trying to get in where I fit in at that point.
Yeah, and you had and on that album you had Big Shun on there, didn't you?
Yeah.
For sure. I remember seeing him on there. And then did you on Apple Music, it's showing you dropped Bang Squad in 2006, but was you dropping mixtapes?
Yeah, I had dropped a mixtape called the HNIC.
Yeah.
And that's the one I started seeing some traction on.
I'm pretty sure that had to have been the one that I saw at.
Yeah, because that one,
Platinum
that was like the first like mixtape that I literally like hand to hand. I sold like 5,000 of them.
Yeah.
So when I did that, that's when I started seeing some traction and stuff. But once again, you know.
Yeah. It's one of those things too where at that time, more and more artists are starting to
see, that was like
get into it.
05,
yeah, because
06.
Bucket went with G Unit and
yeah.
It started.
I think that was around the time it was like me, Lido, Paper,
Yep.
Jelly Roll,
Yep.
A couple other cats too. That
Yep.
was, you know what I'm saying, that was doing their thing, and everybody was just kind of surfing.
Yeah,
just
for
seeing
sure.
what it, you know, what it can do.
Yeah.
Wasn't nobody sure what would work, but everybody was just going.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, because that was definitely that time, man. And Bang Squad was 2006. Let's see. Yeah, that was back. I miss them days kind of too, man. Back when you put as many songs as you could fit on the albums.
Yeah.
Now it's just less is more, bro. 10 songs.
Yeah, 10 songs,
10, 12.
9 songs, 8 songs.
Because everybody's so. You know.
Or it's not even about how many songs. You can put as many songs you want. It's just how the length of the songs now.
Yep.
You know, a lot of the songs, 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Yep.
You know, and mostly everything under 3 minutes. You rarely catch a song over 3:30. You might catch one at 4.
Yeah, man.
But it ain't getting no radio play.
No, bro.
4.
Every song back in the day was 5 minutes.
4,
the longer
yeah.
the song, the better it was, because everybody's attention span was fine because we didn't have the phone.
We had the phone, yeah.
So now it's like, bro, that's why now it's like, the thing is now is like the TikToks and because it's a 1 minute part of somebody's day because they want to get as many 1 minute as they can get
it's
to.
like, that's crazy.
I know, it's crazy to think that that's how the world is now, man. Because it's something that I had to learn, because I was all about longer songs, 3 16-bar verses. Now, bro, a 3 16-bar song now is like running a marathon.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I mean?
You gotta
For the
have,
listener and the
see,
artist.
and you gotta have different people that people actually want to hear three verses from. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a song with 3 verses, it need to be 3 artists that everybody like, oh, okay, I want to hear what you gotta say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know.
So did you just? I've noticed here on these Lost and Found projects that you did. Is that just songs that you did over the years that?
Yeah,
that
that I had on different projects. And you know what I'm saying? And honestly, my whole thought process behind the Lost and Founds was, shit, I'd rather them sit online than sit in my computer.
No, for sure, man.
You know,
for sure. It's best to just put out as much as you can.
Put it all together and do some new, do new music as I go. But I mean, honestly, I got burnt out on it, man. I got burnt out on just the whole business.
No, for sure.
Of the industry. You know what I'm saying? It's not the actual music itself, but when you start going through a lot of the shit, it's kind of like, I don't really give a damn.
I totally understand it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure you got family too. That becomes the thing.
Yeah.
It's not just about you anymore. It's about the family. So what is the best for my family? And if this is not doing what it, you know what I mean? It's hard to want to stay focused on it.
Exactly.
As much as you love it, you got to do what's right.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
For the fam first, bro.
And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, some people get to pick it back up and you get back into it, and some people just leave it alone for good.
Yeah.
And, at one point, I was almost to that point. Like, fuck this shit. It just ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? When you got the people around you, just really don't really know what they got going on or know what they doing.
Yeah.
And everybody just, well, this idea might work, or this might try this. Like, I don't want to keep trying shit because trying shit costs.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't just, at the time I just didn't have it like that to be just trying shit, just trying to do this,
throwing
trying
stuff
to
at
do
the wall.
yeah, like nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just all about aligning yourself with the right people, man.
No,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? Because everybody do something different, and that's what I've noticed while I was out on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That even in different places, man, like a lot of artists, it's just so many artists now. Like I'm talking about so many. Every city you go to, every city we went to, had to be at least 15 or 20 just artists.
No, for
just
sure,
hitting the stage, waiting to hit the stage, debating on I was like, okay, so this ain't no different than what's going on at the house.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, how many showcases? There's countless ones that I'm sure you got countless ones where you perform to pretty much a venue full of just other artists that didn't want to show love because they're artists.
Yeah.
So it's like I lost count of them, man. Especially we did a lot of those at the Rutledge, and there's a bunch of other spots that used to do them, but it felt like that at times, man, where you wasn't performing to fans. It was just artist showcase, and it just.
See, that's what I dug about when we went on tour in the Midwest. That's what I dug about the Midwest, because they was showing love. Like, long as you sounded good, they was fucking with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in the South, it ain't so much as like that no more.
No, it's not, man.
It ain't nothing like that in the South anymore. So it's kind of touch and go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Based on who you know or who you hang with, or like at the end of the day, all that shit irrelevant when you leave from where you at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So when you drop those projects, basically like some unreleased stuff that wasn't released on streaming platforms, and then in 2020 you dropped Brothers. I know that was on one of those projects, was it not?
Yeah.
So was that a new single?
Or that was a new single.
Okay. So that was 2020, March 2020, right in the pandemic.
I Ain't Shit. That's a new single.
Yeah.
And the record will Cook Up, you know what I'm saying, Shirt Off. That was a newer single as well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can talk about that one actually. That's your most recent single currently.
Yeah.
The one with Cook Up, right?
Yeah.
Produced by Fate, that's my dog, man. We've had Fate on the podcast a few times. We did an interview. That's my dog, man. I'm glad.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad that to see that y'all work, because you was working with him back then. I remember.
Yeah. That's still my guy.
Yeah, Fate's good. He's good people, bro.
You know?
He's definitely a pillar in the Nashville rap. Like
a lot of people sleep on him, but it's like, nah, man. It's like a lot of cats. You know, he gave birth to a lot of cats.
So many, dog.
And you know how it is, man. I don't know about here. Well, mostly here.
Yeah.
You know, once people start getting up and standing on their own 2 feet, now they act like you ain't did shit for them, or they don't need you.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
But come on, man, pay your respect.
Yeah, man, because Fate, and I make sure to tell him, I mean, I've told him, and I still do, but he had such an influence on me because I was somebody that was in the country, bro. I was a white dude from the country, and rap wasn't what was popping. You know what I mean? Where I live at, it's like farmland and shit like that. Yeah. And I remember hearing Fade Eastwood and Bezel B.O.P. and I was like, what is this sound? This is crazy. Guys listening to rap.
Yeah.
But not locally.
Yeah.
I thought these dudes were like 50 Cent status because I saw them in a CD warehouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was Fate. That's what's got me to Fate and Bezel Gang and all them. And then they introduced me to Lido and Paper and You and and all that. But I tell Fate that he's one of the main things that got me.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? That sound, because his sound that he started with that production was a sound that you had to have.
Back then, yeah.
To your project to be, you had to get a Fate beat. You had to go get a sound from Fate. So like, and that's a banging ass song that you and Cook.
Even with that record, man, like he sent me that. The story that was funny about that is when he sent it to me, I kept saying, nah. He was like, you ain't listening, man. I said, he's listen to it. So maybe about a month later, I called him and I was like, you was right.
The marinade.
I was like, you was right. He's like, I told you.
Yeah.
And then we just went on straight through it, and then Cook Up came and he did his 1-2.
Yeah.
And we had a ball just sitting there doing it. So
yeah, man, that's a dope record, y'all. And we'll flash up when we talk about these projects. We flash them up on the screen so they can see them to go grab them off of streaming platforms.
Cool.
So that being the most recent single you dropped in November, you did a run of shows with Bubba, didn't you?
Yeah. We did them in Kansas, Missouri, and all that.
You want to talk about that tour a little bit?
Yeah,
you can talk about that. Yeah,
all that was part of the spring road trip thing we was doing. I went from like March to April. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homegirl Misery. Mm-hmm. We was hitting the road, man. Shout out also to my guy Wicked Ways out there in Kansas City and shit. So but yeah, man, we was just hitting the road, man, and just we brought him in on a couple dates, and yeah, we had fun, man.
That's dope, man. Yeah, so like you were saying, performing for those where you're not. Was the love pretty dope? The Midwest shows hell of a South.
It was different.
Yeah,
and that's why I say it kind of lit a fire up under me. I was like, oh, okay, so everything ain't all just trap. They ain't just all on trap music in the Midwest. You know, everything they like actual lyrics, and you know you got to be saying something. And you know they still like what they like.
Yeah,
they
for
still,
sure.
You know, South. I think Southern music is just nationwide now. Everybody in some shape, form, or fashion trying to sound like they from the South in some shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, the Midwest was the shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's
flat out.
That's dope that you got to go out there and do that. So what about now? So are you currently working on your new a new project?
Yeah, I'm actually working on the EP right now. Long Days and Short Nights, and then I'm gonna do my dead last album, The Emancipation of Donnie.
Oh, okay, hell yeah.
It's just, it's just about that time. I've been doing it, and you can keep going, but nah. Yeah. Because it's just the kind of person I am now. Yeah. It's a lot of shit I just ain't going to be I ain't into. Right. It's a lot of shit I just ain't going to be willing to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hang around the young guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no problems with them, but I just don't want to hang around them.
Which is on different times.
Our thought processes are two totally, different things. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking about killing somebody. Nah, I'm trying to preserve life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So.
Yeah. So you're currently working on the EP. Now, these singles that you drop, will they be part of one of those, or are they just standalone singles?
They're going to stand alone.
That's dope. What I'm saying? Yeah, that's dope to do it that way.
You know what I'm saying? Just the EP will be the first project in a minute that I just had just all new music, and then last album. That's of course. Yeah. I'm gonna go out with a bang.
No, for sure, dog. Do you have any? Have you already got songs recorded for the EP?
I got a couple of them that's already done. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I still got work to do. I ain't gonna do too much. Yeah. It's just I guess now, man. I listen to music now, and I think, damn. Maybe that ain't something that fit what's going on right now. Yeah. Or be like, damn. I guess it did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when I went out to the Midwest, that's what let me know that, hey man, just do what you do, man. Just have fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Well, dope, man. Well, I'm looking forward to that new project that you're working on. What we'll do is. Well, whenever you're getting ready to drop the project,
I'm shooting for right around Thanksgiving.
Well, we'll try to see if we can I'll talk to Squints and we'll see if we can get you on the podcast around the time that you drop the project to kind of go alongside with that to promote it. Solid. Yeah. And we'll put your links in the description. I'll be sure to, you got Instagram, Facebook, and all that.
Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. I got rhymedown365.com.
Oh, there you go. We'll put your website. It's got all your links on there.
Yeah, we'll do that. On that. Yeah. And I'm just trying to. I'm actually about to launch a podcast myself, man. Blunt Runners Podcast.
Oh hell yeah,
so,
dude.
Yeah.
That's dope. You just kind of talk about everything.
A little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Be kind of 420 friendly.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, man, it's just something different, man. Just get into acting. I'm trying to write scripts.
Branch out,
yeah, I'm trying to just do something totally different, man. Because it's like I'm at an age now. It's a lot of shit I just don't even want to do. Like back in the days, hit the show, boom, what after party at?
Oh yeah, for
sure. Now it's like shit.
I'm with you there.
Hit the show, okay. I might go to the after party.
Find a room and go lay down.
But outside of that, I'm trying to chill out. Yeah. Cause 9 out of 10, I had to get up the next day and drive home. Yeah. So yeah.
Plus, it's just there ain't nothing for me at them things, but just stuff that, just bad decisions. So I'll just Go back to the room, just watch some Netflix and just
Exactly.
chill
Just
out and
chill
relax.
on out. Just make my little phone calls and
Yeah.
see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, man, this has been dope, man. I'm glad we got to sit down because anybody that's in ChadArmesTV, if you're new
Yeah.
to Christ, like I said, his link's in the description. Y'all go be sure to, because we turn a lot of the ChadArmesTV listeners onto newer artists and then OG artists that they just, because maybe they're not from here and just aren't aware. But we do appreciate you, bro, and we'll
I
make sure.
appreciate you, man.
No, for sure, dude. And we'll work, man. I'm fixing to start working on some new stuff. And we've got a lot of stuff in the works, so we can get together on a track if you want to.
Whenever, man. Anytime,
For sure.
man. Just a phone call away, bro.
Yeah, man. So
Make this thing, make it work, man. Like I said, I'm going out with a bang.
hell yeah, dude.
And if I go out, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out how I chose. Cause you know, sometimes when you disappear, it ain't your choice.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to be able to walk out, you know, I'm walk out like I won a championship, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, especially since with you being like wanting to write scripts and wanting to do podcast stuff, it's just an involvement, you know, of Donnie. You know what I'm saying? Of just you, and there's nothing wrong. That's just dope, dog. It's just growth, bro.
Yeah, that's all, man. Just like I said, just looking at different ventures and just seeing what work.
Yeah. Well, again, I appreciate you, bro. And y'all be sure to hit the links in the description and go follow him. And ChadArmesTV, we'll be working with him more in the future. Christ is Ramadan, OG.
Holla.